Students, in this video session, we are going to learn introduction of oscillatory motion. What is mean by oscillations? As we know, in the past few video lectures, we have discussed about different types of motion. We have learned about rectilinear motion, translatory motion, rotational motion, rolling motion. Likewise, oscillation is also a type of motion which will be generally observed in our daily life. What make oscillatory motion different than that of remaining other types? How is this unique than that of remaining type of motion which we have discussed earlier? We are going to discuss in this video session. Let us categorize different types of motion. You can see in the animations provided. In these animations, you are able to categorize different types of motion. In the first type, which is rectilinear, a person is moving, a person is running. When the particles of the whole system have same displacement, same velocity, and the same acceleration, then we say that it is translatory, pure translatory motion, and it is rectilinear motion even. And next, there is a clock, and in that clock, you are able to see that the clock hands will be rotating with respect to fixed axis. If you take tip of the clock, that tip of the clock will be executing one circular motion. That is what circular motion is different than that of rectilinear motion, which will be always revolving in particular orbit with respect to fixed axis. Rotational motion, circular motion is the special case of rotational motion. In case of rotational motion, all the particles will execute circular motion with respect to different axes of rotation. We have discussed about circular motion, rotational motion, and rectilinear motion in the previous video sessions. And in periodic motion is the type of motion which is repeated in equal intervals of time. In case of a clock, for every one revolution of minute's hand, our hand will be moving by 1 hour. Likewise, you are able to distinguish for every one complete revolution of Earth around the sun, it completes 1 year. Likewise, for every one rotation of the Earth, 1 day is being completed. Day is a period there. Year is a period for revolution of Earth with respect to sun. Likewise, if any type of motion which is repeated in equal intervals of time, such motion is said to be periodic motion. Rotational motion, and like a person who is moving on the bicycle, the wheels of the bicycle execute rotational motion. The wheels of the bicycle and the tip of the bicycle tire will make one circular motion. So circular motion is the special case of rotational motion. So about these different types of motion, we have already discussed in the earlier video sessions. We have learned them. Now we are going to discuss what is meant by oscillatory motion. You are able to see in the animation that a frog which is sitting on the cradle, or you can call it as a swing actually. So a frog which is sitting on the swing, it is moving to and fro. Likewise, a spring, a mass is attached with the spring here, and that is executing to and fro motion. That mass is coming down and it is going up, coming down and going up. This type of motions which are executed to and fro. Here this frog is going forward and again it is coming backward. And this mass is coming downward and again it is going upward. if you are able to distinguish this type of motion separately than that of remaining. In case of rectilinear, there is no to and fro motion. In case of circular motion, or in case of periodic motion, rotational motion, there is no such to and fro motion. To and fro, back and forth. So if motion of the body is to and fro or back and forth, such motion is called oscillatory motion. Such motion is called oscillatory motion. Here the frog is going forward, that is called to. Forth in the sense it is back. So from its initial position, it moves forward and then comes to its original position, and it is not stopping there. Again it is going backward. Likewise, the mass which is attached to the spring here, the mass is coming down from its initial position, and it is returning back to its own position, but it is not stopping there. It's going above this. Like for example, this is the starting position of the mass. This mass comes down and it goes up. Is it stopping at this position? It is not stopping at this position. It is going upward even. And then from here it is coming down. So this is back. From its original position, it is going backward. And from its original position, it is going forward. Likewise, this frog, if it is starting at this position, it is going to extreme point and then it is returning back. We call it as a to, and it is not stopping its initial position. It is going back and again it is coming back to its own position. Is it not? You can cross check it. I'll play the animation once again. You can check that. The particles, see, frog is going forward from its initial position and then it is returning back. It's moving forward and backward. Likewise, the spring mass system, the mass is coming down and it is not being in its own position where it have actually started. From the starting point, even it is going backward also. Such type of motion which is executing to and fro or back and forth, such motion is said to be oscillatory motion. Do you have any doubt to ask in this? If you have any questions, you can ask me. Students, now let us discuss some more important terms related to oscillatory motion and what are the characteristics of this oscillatory motion. There are few examples which are shown in the screen. There is a ball which is moving on the inclined plane. That is example number 1. This is example number 1. Actually, ball is starting at this position. It is going to this point and it is coming back, and from here it is going to this position and then returning back. This is the central point where its potential energy is minimum, and this point I name it as O, and this point I name it as A, and this point I name it as B. Right? Likewise, in the next example, you are able to see a pendulum. This is example number 2. A mass attached to ceiling along with a string is said to be a pendulum. It actually starts at this position. And this position is O. It goes to extreme position A, and then again it returns back to this position B. Likewise, there is this mass, this spring mass system. It will be starting from this position and it goes back to this position and then again it return back to this position. This position I name it as O. This position I name it as A. This position I name it as B. In all these cases, you are able to identify that all the motion are identical. Everywhere there is a to and fro and back and forth. O to A, it is called back. O to B, it is called forth. Whereas in case of simple pendulum and as well as in case of spring mass system, the particles are always moving from one certain position and going back and then returning back to its own position and not stopping there. It is again going in forward direction. So such motion is said to be oscillatory. But in case of oscillatory motion is of course a periodic motion. This will be happening in equal intervals of time. From A to O, O to B, what time it takes, the same time it will be going from B to A. Therefore, oscillatory motion is a periodic motion. That's point number 1. You need to note it down. Motion is periodic motion. That means if the oscillatory motion is executed in equal intervals of time, then it is said to be periodic motion. And everywhere the particle is starting from position O, and that position, the starting point where the potential energy of the particle is minimum, is said to be mean position of the particle. Mean position in all these examples, position O is called mean position. And how can you define that mean position? The position where potential energy is minimum is called mean position. So wherever you leave the object, again it tends to come towards that mean position. That is point number 2. Point number 3, from mean position, the particles are not being in the rest. Like mean position, if the particle starts, it is going to another point A and again it is coming back to B. So therefore, that positions A and B are said to be extreme positions. Those positions are said to be extreme positions. Extreme positions here, A and B are called extreme position. Extreme position is that position where potential energy is maximum, is called extreme position. Of oscillatory motion. That is point number 3. Point number 4 here you can discuss is the particle is starting at point O and it is going to B. From B to O, again it is going to A, and from A again it is coming back to O. This position is called mean position. This position is called extreme position, and this position is called extreme position. Likewise, this is extreme position, this is extreme position, this is mean position. Likewise, this is mean position, this is extreme position, and this is extreme position. And as we know, at mean position, potential energy is minimum. So at this point O, potential energy is minimum. Therefore, kinetic energy is maximum. So potential energy is minimum, kinetic energy is maximum. At extreme position, potential energy is maximum, kinetic energy is minimum. Vice versa. Here also the same thing. Potential energy is maximum, kinetic energy is minimum, and at mean position kinetic energy is maximum. So clearly you can understand that at mean position potential energy is minimum, kinetic energy is maximum. Likewise, at extreme position potential energy is maximum and kinetic energy is minimum, right? So these are the characteristics of an oscillatory motion. Whenever the object is moving in oscillatory path, in the oscillatory motion, you can define mean position, extreme position. Concerned with mean position and extreme position, you will be having variation of potential energy and as well as kinetic energy. But overall, for the body which is executing oscillatory motion, total energy will remain constant. So total energy here is constant, total energy here is constant, and total energy here is also constant. Total energy in the sense it is sum of kinetic energy and potential energy. Total energy of the system will remain constant. Only the thing is there will be variation in kinetic energy and potential energy. Now let us learn some more characteristics of oscillatory motion. And this oscillatory motion is also said to be simple harmonic motion. Why it is called simple harmonic motion? Let us discuss now. This is mean position, right? This is mean position. And this is mean position. Now the particle will be moving from in between mean position and extreme position. Wherever you may leave the object, you can see that clearly. You can leave the object anywhere. You can leave the object anywhere. If you leave the object at any particular point, definitely it is coming to mean position. It is always coming to mean position. So the direction of displacement of the particle is towards the mean position. That is point number 1 you need to remember. So in the first point we have learned that always the particle wherever you may leave, it is directed towards the mean position. Now the second point is, as we already have been learned that at mean position kinetic energy is kinetic energy is maximum, potential energy is minimum. So when the body is starting from mean position to extreme position, displacement is increasing but acceleration is decreasing. Clearly you can understand that when the particle starts here, velocity is maximum, and when the particle comes here, velocity will become 0. Therefore, when the particle is moving from mean position to extreme position, what is happening here? Velocity is decreasing. Therefore, as velocity decreases, acceleration is negative. Likewise, when acceleration is negative, what is happening here? The displacement of the particle is increasing. So you can write that direction of displacement of particle and acceleration are opposite to each other. And remember that the displacement of the particle, so here you have got acceleration is directly proportional to displacement, but it is in opposite direction. So if you are taking example of this spring, if you are pulling this up to this level, say x1, the acceleration with which the mass is pulled in upward is less. Vice versa, when you are bringing this mass to this position, if you are bringing this mass to this position, which is displacement x2, with what force we are pulling that object in downward direction, with the same force spring will be pulling it in upward direction, therefore its acceleration increases. So as displacement of the particle is increasing, acceleration of the particle is also increasing. In all the three examples you can see that. In case of simple pendulum also, you are pulling it farther from the mean position, and if you leave, it falls down with greater acceleration. So therefore, as displacement increases, acceleration increases, both are directly proportional to each other, but they are in opposite direction. So as the displacement is increasing, what is happening to velocity? Velocity is decreasing, so therefore acceleration decreases. So displacement and acceleration both are opposite to each other. That is the reason why the directions are opposite. So I'm taking one negative sign here. And A is proportional to x, more is the displacement, more will be the acceleration, but it is in opposite direction. That's the reason why you can write A is directly proportional to minus x. And number 3, it is that the acceleration of the particle is directly proportional to displacement. And the third point is that particles should always execute to and fro motion. Such motion is said to be simple harmonic motion. Such motion is said to be simple harmonic motion. These are the characteristics of simple harmonic motion. Simple harmonic motion and oscillatory motion both are different. For simple harmonic motion, the condition A is equal to minus x will be always valid, but for oscillatory motion, A can be proportional to minus x or cannot be proportional to minus x. Therefore, every simple harmonic motion is an oscillatory motion, but all oscillatory motion are not simple harmonic motion. So once again I am repeating, every simple harmonic motion is oscillatory motion, but all oscillatory motion are not simple harmonic motion, because simple harmonic motion has an additional condition that A should be proportional to minus x. If this condition is satisfied, then only we can consider that it is a simple harmonic motion. Now clearly, as we have A proportional to minus x, from this expression we can write A proportional to minus x. I'm removing this proportionality and I should include a constant. A is equal to minus k into x. I'll just multiply with m on both sides. Like here I will be writing it m, and here also I can write it as m. Now it is ma is f, which is equal to minus k into m into x, where k is proportionality constant, m is mass, which is constant. From here you can clearly write f is directly proportional to minus x. F is directly proportional to minus x. That means the force which is acting over here is also directly proportional to displacement, but it is in opposite direction. So A proportional to minus x, F proportional to minus x. If these conditions are satisfied, then only we say that it is simple harmonic motion. Yeah. So we have learned that F is equal to, or I can write it as F proportional to minus x, and F proportional to, or F is equal to minus k into x, where F is equal to minus k into x, where k is equal to constant, and this force is called restoring force. It is called restoring force. Why it is called restoring force? It is because suppose a particle is starting from here, it is going to this extreme position. Again it is returning back. Why it is returning back? There should be some force acting on that particle in order to return back. Therefore, the force which is responsible in making that object to come back to its original position is called restoring force. Here also, in case of simple pendulum, some force is pulling it downward such that it is coming to its original position. Similarly, if this mass is going down, some force is pulling back again to come to its main position. So that force which is responsible here in order to bring that object to its original position is called restoring force. Here, restoring force is gravitational force. Here is also restoring force is gravitational force. And here, restoring force is spring force. Here, restoring force is spring force. Right? Now, from here, you can write F is equal to MA. MA is equal to minus K into X. A is equal to minus K by M into X. And this I will be writing it as A is equal to minus omega square into X. And this omega can be simply written as under root K by M. This expression we will discuss in the next coming video sessions. A, how it is minus omega square X, we will discuss that. So for time being, you just remember that omega is equal to under root K by M, or you can write K is equal to M omega square. K is equal to M omega square. And this K is called restoring constant, and this F is called restoring force. So we have discussed what are the characteristics of simple harmonic motion. Now we will learn different types of simple harmonic motion. The first type of SHM is linear SHM, and the second type of SHM is angular SHM. So in case of linear harmonic motion, the particle moves to and fro about equilibrium point along a straight line. Here you can see this A and B are extreme positions and M is mean position. So AM and MB is equal to amplitude. So this distance is denoted with capital A. This distance is also capital A. Capital A is called amplitude of simple harmonic motion. Such motion is said to be linear simple harmonic motion. It can be even straight line vertically. Such motion is called linear simple harmonic motion. And next is angular simple harmonic motion. When a body or a particle is free to rotate about a given axis and executing angular oscillations, such oscillations are called angular simple harmonic motion. For example, a particle which is moving in the circular path. This is angular SHM. Likewise, a pendulum which is going to this extreme position and again return back to this position. There is some angle here. So it is executing angle. There is some angular change in the position of the particle. Such type of motion is said to be angular simple harmonic motion. Linear simple harmonic motion is executed always in the straight line path. Angular simple harmonic motion will be executed with respect to a fixed axis. They will be executing angular oscillations. That is the difference between linear simple harmonic motion and angular simple harmonic motion. So we will be discussing about linear simple harmonic motion in the next video session.